Hello and welcome to NewFilmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny De Lillo and we're here at the Cambridge Los Angeles showroom in West Hollywood, and I'm here with Andrew J. Hebert with his movie Dogwood. Let's take a look at a clip.
In exchange for wealth and glory and a long, healthy life, deliver the life of your comrade to him and become a crusader for the Confederate cause. But if neither of you accept this offer, by midnight, they both shall perish and suffer an everlasting torture below.
Andrew, it's awesome to have you here in the studio.
Great, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Well, you're so welcome because your film was fantastic. Tell us a brief synopsis about Dogwood.
Dogwood takes place during the American Civil War, and there are two Union soldiers, Silas and Joel, who are captured by a satanic cult who convinces them they have until midnight to make a Faustian deal with the devil.
It's epic, isn't it? It took me on quite a journey, I have to say, and it was a brilliant reaction last night at the screening. Now, you took on many hats for this particular project. You wrote, and you directed, and you produced, and you edited, which is phenomenal, but how did you come up with the idea?
So I wanted to make a film that took place in Virginia. That's where I grew up, and it was really important to me to go home, and this was my senior thesis film for NYU in film school. And I wanted to create a project that was personal to me and had something about my background in there, and Virginia was such a huge part of my upbringing, and I wanted to take a production back there. And when trying to justify why shoot Virginia, the Civil War was obvious, because the Civil War was mostly fought in Virginia. It was such a huge part of our history books. And that was something that I really wanted to explore and kind of just look at it from a different angle, this more supernatural horror sense rather than just a war story. And so just started doing some research on the Civil War and cults and witchcraft during that time, and just it slowly kind of started evolving into that, which the story you saw last night.
And you had some really fantastic acting performances as well.
Yes.
Tell us a bit more about the two lead guys in there.
So Garrett Richmond, he is an actor out of New York. He's the redhead, and he did a phenomenal job. And I knew this first time he came into the audition that I wanted to cast him. We saw dozens of guys, and but once he came into the room, he just had such a presence about him, and he came in prepared with a Civil War accent and already a backstory prepared for the character, and I just knew that he was like perfect for the role and like the depth that I was looking for. And then the brown-haired gentleman, James, this was one of his first roles, and but when I saw him, we got along really well, and he looked great with Garrett, and I was kind of wary about casting him because he hadn't had so much experience, and I really wanted this to be so good, but something about him just drew me to him, and so I said, I want to work with you, and I want to work on this character together, and I'm worried about casting you, but if you can promise me to give him your all, like, I'd love to give it to you. And he was down, and he did a great job, and the two of them together were amazing, and they had a great friendship and worked really well together, and all the three of us together, we spent hours rehearsing several weeks before production, and we had a lot of fun together.
Well, I mean, it obviously works because you mentioned about depth, and I just felt like there was so much depth that was beyond the story that I could just feel with their
Right.
reactions to each other. Now, you said you filmed in Virginia, so was it something very important to you to go back home and sort of film in your hometown as a place as part of your thesis film?
Yes, it was really important for me to go back home, and I'm from a really small town, like in the countryside, so I kind of knew that if I were to bring production back, I could get some newspaper coverage and get everyone really excited about it and come to support the film and help us out in different ways. And everyone was so great, and the newspaper ended up doing a little series on us, and
Fantastic.
we had some people donate money to us from that way and meals and things like that. And there's this little inn on this battlefield in Virginia, and they let us shoot there, and we had lunch there.
Oh, wow.
And so everyone was really supportive and great, and it was just like a great feeling to, the town that I grew up in, kind of supporting my career and welcoming back with open arms, and we all come in running with our cameras, and running through the woods screaming, and they were all really cool about it, and everyone was offering up their locations and their houses to us, and so,
That's so fantastic.
it was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was
See,
really
they're
great.
very friendly in Virginia.
Yeah.
You don't make a movie there, they're really friendly. No, that's really good. And I also, like, you made it look kind of very easy. but you did take on a lot of roles for this film, and as being part of your thesis, there's also a lot of pressure as well to like, I've got to get this right. But what did you kind of find your biggest challenge was making the film?
Well, thank you for saying it looked easy. 'Cause
You
it
made
was
it look
anything
easy.
but. It was extremely hard, especially setting a film during the Civil War. Halfway through, I was like, "What am I doing? I'm in over my head. I don't know much about the Civil War." I was trying to research as much as I could while also trying to write the script and work with the actors. And then I was going back and forth to Virginia, like meeting people about locations, and it was just a lot going on. And at one point, I even called my professor and I said, "Will you fail me if I don't make this film?" I said, "Can I quit?"
Oh no!
I was like, "I don't think I can do this because it's just too much work, and I just don't think it'll be as good as, I don't want to do it if I don't think it can be perfect." And I don't think it can be perfect. There's just too much, and I'm running out of time. And he said, "I won't fail you, but I'd be pretty disappointed." And so, and then I was talking to my mom about it, and my mom said, "You're not quitting." She's like, "You're not allowed to." She's like, "You've always wanted to do this. This is what you went to school for. It's not going to be easy, so you're just going to do it." And I was like, "Okay, Mom, so..."
Well, we're glad you didn't quit.
I
anyway.
know. Thank you.
You had some really beautiful locations as well. Like, obviously, it was just quite amazing to sort of see as well. And I love the visual aspect to the film as well. It really felt, very periodic
Thank
as
you.
well. So tell us a bit more about your cinematographer.
So my cinematographer, Mary Perino, I love her. She is the most badass girl you'll ever meet. She's very short. She's like 5 feet. She's so petite and tiny, but then she has this huge camera on her head.
I love it.
And she's running around with it, and she just does this cinematography style that I love. And I've been working with her for several years. And it's always she normally does like fashion films and like really beauty, like flowers and things like that, and wedding videos, and just makes everything look really pretty. And so it was kind of a weird mix for me to say, "I want you to make this really dirty horror movie," because part of my thinking behind that is bad things can happen in pretty locations, and a lot of the film takes place during the day, and a lot of horror movies always take place at night during a thunderstorm, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted it to feel real and real time, and she has this fluid style that she does and feels very organic, and the camera breathes and is moving around and never static, and she's amazing. And so she's in New York now, and she's the cinematographer on a documentary about women working in New York City and CEOs, and it's like Power Girl kind of stuff. So it's really great for her.
So you guys probably work together again, I'm sure.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
If she lived here, I wish she lived here. But when I go back to New York, I want to make stuff with her, and hopefully we'll continue our working relationship.
What is it like to have your film, officially selected for NewFilmmakers Los Angeles?
It was such an honor to be selected for NewFilmmakers. I was really surprised. I got a phone call when I was at work, and I'd almost forgotten. I had applied so long ago. I'd submitted it and I'd been so busy with work, it just kind of slipped to the back of my mind. So when they called, I was so stoked, and I actually had a trip planned back to New York for this weekend, and then I was like, I canceled the trip because it was really important for me to be here and to see it up on the big screen and meet people who have other films that are playing in the same category. And so, I mean, it was a big honor, and I was really, really happy to be a part of this.
Well, thank you for sharing Dogwood with us, and you're very talented, and we look forward to seeing much more of your work, Andrew.
Thank you so much for having me. It was nice to meet you.